This is my UDL Final Reflection, and I'm using Poplet and Screencast-O-Matic to make this. I just want to start off by saying that I think UDL is a really useful lens to think about teaching because to me it really is best practice, and so it's interesting to look at your strengths and weaknesses through this lens, and that's what I'll be doing here in this presentation. So starting off, I want to talk a little bit about my strengths. And some of my strengths, I think, first and foremost, is providing multiple means of representation. And I do this on a daily basis by sharing images with students, like photos, paintings, audio clips, video clips, political cartoons, timelines. These could be done in short 5 to 7 minute presentations. I think I do a good job of making those interactive using tools like Nearpod. Another strength of mine is providing multiple means of action and expression. What I've done in the past here is created a variety of project options, and I've been going through some of my projects and including more options. And for this course, what I did was actually change the rubric for some assignments and align them with proficiency-based graduation requirements. And I thought that was really interesting because it was challenging. First of all, one category I used to have was called command of the information when students present a project. And I changed that and I made it into informed and integrative thinking. And they also created a category called historical thinking, and those were both linked to proficiency-based graduation requirements. And I think what they've done is made the rubric more specific, and I'll be able to give my students more specific feedback about their projects. So I'm excited to use that next year in 2018. Under a similar vein, I revised the 1920s projects that I do, and I also included, or I revised the rubric so that they are going to provide more specific feedback to students in the future. And I think that's interesting. And I also included more project options than I had in the past. So those are just a few of my strengths, and I wanted to talk about my project revisions that I've made. But what I want to talk about next is areas for growth. So one area for growth for me is teaching executive functioning skills. I found it interesting in Module 3 when we were learning about self-regulation and executive functioning skills, and I realized that I'm not specifically teaching this, and I think that that's an area where my students are really deficient. And some of the resources I have available to me, a special educator I work with really closely is really excellent, I think, at teaching executive functioning, so I should tap into her more. I think I need to do more with goal setting and creating more check-ins for projects and papers with my students, and maybe it's an area where I could use some further professional development. Another area for growth for me, I think, is the working on multiple means of engagement. The Look Fors assignment was really great for me to do this, because what I did is I created a checklist of things for me that I should be looking for, and then also this could potentially be used in a professional learning community. So I'm going to share that with my professional learning community in the next meeting. So from that checklist, what I realized was that I could do a better job of clarifying lesson and unit goals. My goal would be for students to come into the class, and if there's somebody observing the class, that person could ask them, and then the student would be able to tell them what the learning target was for the day, or what the unit goals were for that specific unit. Another area I want to improve on is just giving mastery-oriented feedback. Feedback, I think, is really important, and students need time in class, I think, to address feedback. And I want to use our extended learning opportunities block to work with students more one-on-one. Another area I could improve on is providing students with a variety of resources, a variety of different types of readings, different types of ideas and supports for them when we're doing independent work or when they're doing homework. So I think that's an area that I could really improve on as well. So those are the big kind of areas for growth in the future. There's certainly more areas, but I just wanted to start with those. And that's really my big reflection for UDL. I'm hoping that as more people take the UDL courses here, that Harwood and the Washington West Supervisory Union will start to be able to use this as a common vocabulary and a common framework for talking about best practice when it comes to teaching. Okay, thank you for teaching this course, and thanks for your feedback. And I really appreciate you modeling UDL as you teach this course too. I think that's one of the ways I've learned the most about UDL. So thank you.